Hello everyone, this is Endgame Arts who did an unboxing and a breakdown and a demo. This is Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PlayStation 4. Now the unboxing part of the video was for the Deluxe edition, but there is a standard physical copy available as well. Now the redeem code you saw in the unboxing video has not been redeemed, so whoever wants it, first come, first serve, and please bear in mind you must have a US account to be able to redeem it. Now, there are two discs. One disc is an install disc, and the other is a play disc. One, it's around 84 gigabytes big to install the entire game off disc. At current time of making this video, there were no updates available, which is quite shocking and very pleasing to see. Now, also keep in mind, this is only a timed exclusive. It will be available for most likely PC and Xbox Series X down the road, about a year from now. So just keep that in mind if you're holding out or just disappointed. Just wait a year and it will be available on other platforms. Now on to the game. Now, Final Fantasy VII is of course a remake, but please keep in mind this only covers a small portion of the entire game. You only go up to the point of leaving Midgar, so just keep that in mind if you're going to look at this and hoping it's going to be the entire experience. But the entire experience leading up to Midgar has been really polished out, wider, and just bigger and expanded of experience. I am quite pleased with it in terms of how they went about this. I know most people will be disappointed that it's not the entire full game, but if the entire experience is like this, where every disc or every portion of the game will be hugely expanded upon with character development, world building, as well as graphically pleasing, as well as fast and fluid gameplay, I'm more than welcoming of it. Now, Final Fantasy VII is near and dear to my heart. I have played the original one multiple times, so I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy. So to finally get a chance to sit down and play the remake was just almost a dream come true. But on to more subjects about the game. The game is no longer turn-based. It's more of an action pack, more hack-and-slash fluid with a small touch of turn-based. This turn-based action really isn't like turn, but you can at least pause the game in mid-combat by hitting the X button to bring up commands. I particularly really like this because it's something I really like about turn-based is be able to stop time and be able to issue out commands at my own pace and speed. It's why I like slower paced games, because I like to play at my own speed. But the game is still hack and slash to its core. You'll be hacking and slashing and attacking, hitting your square button to attack, and just occasionally you hit the X button to be able to cast spells. But they do have a quick slot area in case you do not want to interrupt the speed by holding L1 and putting button commands with it in case you're just wanting constant fluidness. Now, the biggest gripe I have about the combat is that it is fun, fluid, and very challenging at its moment. I do love its strategicness at times. The things that really annoy me and bug me with it is that I often find that computer can interrupt my attacks even though I'm attacking them. This can be very frustrating as it's sometimes just a normal little punch from the enemy and it completely interrupts my combo. As well as that the enemy can sometimes continuously attack you and there's very little you can do to stop this. I even lost some matches because the enemy just kept attacking me and you can't guard in mid-attack or dodge out of the way. And you just be constantly hit to the point that you die. This was a little frustrating because it doesn't have the fast and fluidness you expect out of a hack and slash. Something like God of War or Devil May Cry, where if an enemy is attacking you, you can at least try to guard or block or dodge out of the way in midst of the attack. It's something I hope they might look into making more refinement if they're going to be going into this hack and slash style. But as I said, I really do like the X button, be able to pause time and issue out commands. I love that feature and I hope to see even more other games utilize this. I do like how jumping between characters is actually quite useful and utilized very well. If your character you're controlling at that time is being pinned or controlled or being attacked relentlessly, you can try to switch to a different character and use them to aggro the enemy or to be able to attack a specific enemy who might be flying. And that's another gripe sometimes. Flying enemies, yes, it is important to maybe switch to Barret or Aerith, who have long-distance attacks, but sometimes they're not in your party, and fighting a high flyer or a person who's flying in the air can be quite frustrating. Now, on story and characters and so forth, they did an amazing job. I love every character they added into the game. Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse are all really well defined and brought out and smoothed out as characters. They're not really just side characters anymore, which is really nice. Barrett, Aerith, Tifa, Cloud are all extremely well done and extremely well voiced acted. It's very just amazing journey to beginning to end. Though the mouth movement with the characters can be a hit and miss. I know they were trying a new project with some AI analyzation for mouth movement. During most cutscenes, it's great to look at, but sometimes off screen or when you're just running around the world, the mouth movement can be very awkward. Now, overall, in story, they did keep most of the entire experience intact, all the way up till about you get to the last 2 chapters of the game. The game does make a big change in direction of concept. Some will be very upset with this as impurists and so forth, and just other people, or maybe just like me, who are interested to see where this story may go. I'm just keeping that in mind that the story will not be the same, so just keep that in mind. We'll have to see. I don't want to cast hate or upset with it. Yes, I very much wish to see the original story be retold, but I'm also quite intrigued to see this new direction that might take place. I have played the original, I have multiple versions of the original, and the original is still available. So it's not like they're completely removing the original story there. But I'm keeping an open mind with it, and I hope to see more done with it and get more information down the road. Just to say, the game left me wanting more, and that's a very good thing. But overall, the environment, the music is just beautiful. I'm gonna have to go out of my way to buy the soundtrack to this game, because it's just amazing. Like I said, it's a spectacle and sometimes frustrating at times with certain gameplay mechanics, and sometimes little side quests and little minutinous things you gotta do are a little awkward and more of a chore, but the overall experience was amazing. I had chills, I had goosebumps, and I just had this fan moments of this game. It was a very well done remake, and I can't wait to see more from it. I have not beaten a Final Fantasy game since Final Fantasy IX, and I haven't cared for a Final Fantasy game since Final Fantasy IX. And I'm just really glad that VII, since it's a big part of my childhood, that they did it justice, and it's a very well made game. Some will probably be disappointed it's not truly turn-based, and some are going to be extremely disappointed that the story may go in a different direction, but overall, they still provided a great experience of a game, especially if you're a fan like me of the original, and you're more than eager to see a new story, and to see all the characters again. It was just an amazement. I'm glad to have played this, and I'm glad I picked up the Deluxe Edition to put on my shelf, and I'll definitely come back to this game and replay it again. So, in my opinion, since there were no updates in the entire when I played it, and I didn't experience any bugs or issues, I highly recommend the game. But you might be a good idea to hold off, since there's going to be another release down the road, like down the year from PC, maybe Xbox, and maybe they'll include the DLC stuff, like the summons and so forth, already on the disc. So that's really up to you if you want to hold off on it. I do highly recommend it. It is a very well fun game and very challenging, and I like what they've done with it, and I can't wait to see more down the road. So thank you all for watching. I will leave links down in the description if you're an instant copy, and I'll see you guys on my next unboxing video. Bye-bye!
All right, let's see if Little Stamp really can bite the hand that feeds. Go on, do the honors. Prove to me you're the man Tifa says you are. That you're one of us.
Never said I was. I'm just here for the paycheck.
Then do the damn job! What's wrong?
I'm fine.